What's up, people? Welcome back to Invest with T-Claus. My name is Tevi, and this channel is dedicated to my investment journey, along with coverage on crypto, Tesla, Neo, Virgin Galactic, and ChargePoint. Come for the information and stay for the perspective. So I gotta say, it feels a little odd hearing and seeing mainstream investors' confidence in traditional banks being shaken, all while confidence in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto in general grows. Deutsche Bank, the eighth largest bank in Europe, is the latest bank under scrutiny this week over concerns of liquidity. The global financial system is really feeling it, but that did not stop the Fed from raising the Fed funds rate by the expected 0.25 basis points. Market dipped briefly on the news, but managed to close the week in positive territory nonetheless. NEO specifically is up 9.81% this week, after posting a new year-to-date low at $8.03 last week. Now, curious to know how many of you saw this as an opportunity versus those of you who saw this as the last straw and sold out. Feel free to share that in the comments below. Personally, I saw this as an opportunity, and so in today's video, I'll briefly go over what NEO has been up to as of late, we'll check on the latest price targets, and I'll close with what metric I reviewed to ultimately make the decision to add a bit more to my NEO position. As always, this isn't to be taken as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is my personal approach to investing and a thought process behind it. I'd recommend watching all the way through so that you don't miss out on any pertinent information I'll be sharing. Drop this video an early like if you haven't already, and hit that subscribe button. Those are two easy ways to show your support to the channel and help it grow if you appreciate the content. All right, let's get into it. I know I've said this before, but in periods of high uncertainty and volatility, what keeps me clear of the FUD is focusing on the actual company performance and execution against the laid out plan. Personally, I started investing in NEO right after the pandemic market crash, and so when I look back over the last 3 years, NEO has delivered nearly to the day a 248.8% return on investment for anyone who held. Those are some significant returns by any stretch of the imagination. If you were an expert trader and sold at the top of the market, you made well over 1,000% or 10x your investment, which is incredible. Okay. Now, this is to say that despite what feels like a major downtrend and a poorly performing stock near term, perspective, your entry point, and forward-looking time horizon are all important to consider. That's how I keep myself grounded. Now, 2023 for NEO is about further expanding into the European market and new model introductions, all while maintaining and or growing their presence in their home market of China, which, by the way, is the biggest automotive and EV market in the world. About 2 weeks ago, the first batch of NEO ET5 sedans were received in Norway, with deliveries to customers still on track to begin this month. The relevance here is post-introduction, the ET5 sedan has now become NEO's main seller in China, contributing 48%, 68%, and 53% of monthly deliveries in the past 3 months respectively. All right, so NEO is looking to build on this momentum for the European market by introducing the ET5 shooting brake, or wagon. This new version was created for the European market specifically in mind, where wagons are extremely popular. But that's not all, right? Like, NEO also intends to make that lineup option available in their home market of China. Either way, the ET5 shooting brake is set to make its debut this summer in July to continue the cadence of new model rollouts. Also, just this past Wednesday, NEO expanded its footprint into the Netherlands by opening their very first NEO house in Rotterdam, which is the second largest city in the Netherlands. Again, executing on the plan they've laid out. Supply chain concerns have plagued NEO for the better part of 2022, leading to lower sales at the close of the year and bleeding into January. And so just a week ago, NEO announced a new strategic partnership with Ningbo Topu as a new part supplier. Part source will include, but are not limited to, chassis systems, body lightweight materials, thermal management system, interior and exterior systems, and NVH, or noise, vibration, and harness damping systems. During the last earnings call that I reported on earlier this month, William Lee stated that they expect sales to improve as the year goes on. NEO has clearly taken actions to support this claim. And again, just last week during a Bloomberg interview, their CFO Stephen Fang once again reiterated that they expect to achieve their 2023 sales target. The bottom line here is this. market conditions are challenging, but NEO is well capitalized to continue to execute on the plan they have laid out. It's fair to say that you shouldn't expect NEO to rebound today and achieve a brand new all-time high this year. However, there is some expected upside over the next 12 months, and that's pretty reasonable to expect. With that mindset, as I look at analyst ratings, despite the price weakness, we now have one additional buy rating. The consensus is a moderate buy with the following breakdown: 6 buy ratings, 4 hold ratings, and still 0 sell. The median price target is at $14.67, which is good for a 61.74% upside. That is more than respectable, and I would say quite achievable. I say this with the knowledge that the Fed has penciled in rate cuts starting early next year. Now, the top end of the price range is at $25 and the low end is at $10. Either way, what this is telling me is there is upside to be had. So now, going full circle. Earlier in the video, I told you that I view these lower prices as an opportunity, and in fact, bought a bit more last week as we made our new year-to-date low. I added 50 shares at $8.45, bring my total share count to 1,500 for a total average cost of $14.23. The one benefit to still having the average cost relatively high, well, it's that with a high conviction and longer time horizon, buying here to DCA makes sense. But the real reason, all joking aside, this makes sense, and why I know I'm getting a fair deal is because the valuation metric for the stock. That metric is the price to sales ratio. This metric compares a company's stock price to its revenue, essentially how big of a multiple we as investors are willing to pay for the revenue a company brings in. The interesting thing here is despite the fact that NEO stock price is higher than it was pre-pandemic, the price to sales ratio is virtually the same at 2.041, which is very reasonable because revenue has grown significantly over the past 3 years and the stock price has dropped tremendously. We are now once again fairly valued. One could argue undervalued. For reference, Tesla over the same 3-year period now has an 8.1 price to sales ratio and is more expensive than it was 3 years ago, relatively speaking. The point here is NEO continues to execute and grow its revenue. Meanwhile, market conditions are set to loosen by shifting from a restrictive environment this year to an easing environment thanks to the Fed projected rate cuts next year. And really, in periods of loose monetary policy and QE, stocks multiple are able to more easily expand. A growth stock like NEO that has consistently executed through this bear market will be nearing profitability next year and is very likely to catch the interest of more investors. It wouldn't be too surprising to see us retest the previous all-time high at that point and maybe even go beyond. And so the last thing I will say is this: the only question I ask myself when it comes to NEO is, do I have enough shares accumulated to truly reap the reward of the next bull run, knowing we're realistically only another year out, give or take a few months, okay? I know my answer, but do you know yours? Something to consider and to think about. But on that note, that is it for me today. I also want to take this time to wish my father-in-law a very happy birthday. Looking forward to the celebration here shortly. Now to the rest of you, if you found value in my content, click that like button and share with others who you think could also benefit from it. For my newcomers, subscribe, it's free, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you too can stay in the know. I'll be back on Sunday for my weekly video. Till then, you can keep up with me here on Twitter for crypto and NFT related news. Thank you for watching, stay humble, hustle hard, and I'll see you in the next one.